Hello everybody, this is Brad again, and I want to do a little bit of a different video tonight. I think this is something I want to try to put in the mix. If I'm doing chart prep every day, I think that's going to get a little boring, and you're going to know the routine after one or two times. So what I want to try to do tonight is just review the chart from today and try to apply the things I've been learning with watching ICT. Just sort of lay my thoughts out there, my thought process out there, just as a way for me to say it out loud, to think about it. So this is all going to be on the fly. No script here. I'm just going to go through and try to understand what this chart is telling me. And I really want to make this more of an open discussion for everybody. So if you want to comment and sort of give your knowledge of what I'm laying out there, because I'm gonna ask a lot of questions. I'm no expert at ICT and at trading in general. This is mainly a way for me to journal my thoughts and to help me grow and hopefully help other people that are struggling with learning this process. And it's a tough thing, and today was a particularly tough day for me, for sure, and I think a lot of people, at least the people that I usually talk to throughout the day. A lot of people are struggling. We had a lot of chop going on today. It seemed to not want to go for more than one target. It would make a run at a target and then build a little reversal and just head off to the next one. Just taking highs and lows, and then we'd have little tiny runs. But let's look at the chart and try to figure out what we saw. And I'm gonna put a lot of guesses out there, and hopefully some people can share the knowledge if they know more than what I do. So we'll start with the morning move, and I'll try to remember everything that I was thinking throughout the day and sort of predicting throughout the day, and we'll look specifically at those points where I pretty much got all of it wrong today. I had a couple wins, but the first move I definitely got wrong. So what we're looking at here, I'm mainly looking at the right panel here, which is the 1 minute. What we're looking at here is open, right? Let me zoom out a little bit because there is something that's relevant here from the London session or whatever, the pre-market New York as well. We had this, London, actually this is midnight, but London opens and continues this just choppy push down. Doesn't look like it had too clean of setups either. And then we open up with the pre-market in New York. I indicate that here with this little turquoise line, and we immediately dump down, and we dump down into I believe this is a 4-hour fair value gap. I'm going over here to my 5-minute chart. It's easier to see. I'm actually gonna, let's switch that to 15-minute. Lost my bearings a little bit. Yeah, so this is, what I pulled this so far over. This is a 4-hour gap, yeah. That blue box, so any blue box like that you see is a 4-hour fair value gap. that I've marked out from usually a couple days ago, something like that. All right, so New York opens, dump down, right? Straight dump. Not really that concerned with that one. It did come up and take the relative equals here before just straight dumping off and coming down here and consolidating a little bit, right? So we have this consolidation. Before the day started, my bias was that we were going to make a run down here to 405.50. And you'll see that marked on the side, the price. It lines up. I have a horizontal ray there, but it also lines up with the top of that 4-hour fair value gap. When I laid out the chart last night, you know, I put that out there. There's a lot of stuff in there. 1-hour gap, 15-minute gap. Within that 4-hour gap, there's some pretty significant downside targets as well. But I really only thought that that's the first target, right? And then we'll see how it goes from there. If it gets energetic and goes through, then maybe we start targeting more downside. But yeah, that was my bias. Hit 405.50. So we open up 9:30. We actually come up and do a little relative equal top here. We come down, we take these lows. I thought, that's great. Great start. Comes back up, takes out those relative equal highs, and then starts shooting back down. And you'll notice something in here. I don't have it marked, but on this shoot back down, it created a little gap right there, right? A little 1-minute gap, and I can put a box there, right? So we'll go ahead and put our 1-minute fair value gap box right there. So when I saw that, I said to myself, great. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Now, I did miss it breaking a swing low, right? Which is sort of a, don't mind this line, it's going to be moving. Yes, it's still trading right now, so it's going to be moving. It's actually right back around here, which is hilarious. So I see this wick up and pop back into that gap, and I'm in. I go short. I go short, targeting 405.50. And to me, looking back at it, I still don't feel like that's wrong. No, obviously it didn't work out for me because, and I think maybe this is the issue. I don't know if anyone could enlighten me. I know ICT did mention this morning move, but I'm specifically wondering why this logic that I'm laying out here isn't sound. I understand his logic as well, and we'll go over that as next, but my logic is took lows, took highs, started to move down, created a gap in that move down, came back to the gap. I think for sure we're going to the big target here for 005.50. Didn't end up happening. I put my stop right above that. It obviously came here and crashed that out, right, on this candle. Now, this sequence here, let's talk about that. Maybe this is when I should have said, this is no longer any good, right? Maybe it's this candle at 9:42 that I should have said, okay, my play is a bust, get me out. The reason being is we have a swing high at 9:38. All of this is very sloppy. Wasn't loving that, right? When it wicked up and came back down, I said, I got it, 100%, super confident. But then it starts playing around. Huge wicks, huge wicks, huge wicks. Losing confidence, right? In these wicks, we built to swing high, right? 9:38. This green candle popped it, right? Now, when you watch ICT's video from today, if you do, he will talk about that and say how that's a swing high, true. That broke, true. And created a shift in market structure. It's not a break of market structure, just a shift. So he took it as we're now targeting more highs. And this right here, this red wick that came down through, very sloppy, didn't stop in there. He mentioned that and how that didn't matter, that it didn't stop in the gap, and that would be, that's the order block, I guess, for the move up. And the move up is targeting that consolidation area. Look at that, hit that top, right? So took out a ton more buy side there, all the way back to 6 a.m. ish. So went and took that out, right? Then, while it's doing that, right, creates a swing low, right? Pops that, makes almost no hesitation in this move. And we are off to my original target, 4:00.550. At this point, I'm pretty tilted. I have been stopped out of my play for a, not a crazy loss. I think it was like a couple $100, but still pretty tilted at that. Since it came back down and did another raid on lows here. Just not seeing this that clearly. So if anyone can help out with how to see that more clearly, other than, hey, we took out lows, we took out highs, we want to take out lows again, like the theory of it just trying to take out, having these increasing waves of buy side and sell side hunts. If anyone has any insight or some pointers that could help me in the future for that, I would really appreciate it, because this price action really got me confused. So please, once again, I am not an expert at ICT's theory. I've been through most of his 2022 videos. I've been following him this year. I started this whole journey a couple months ago. So just trying to learn here, trying to do better. I know I'm not supposed to be making trades, but this was in a Combine account. It's technically a demo account that I was working with. So I feel like that's the best way for me to learn. It's got very tight rules. So, yeah, that setup really confused me. And then, he did mention this here, these raids down into this old 15-minute gap. Now, we put this together last night. We charted this out. It's a 15-minute gap within a 4-hour gap from yesterday, I think, from yesterday. Oh, sorry, it's right there. So I know that wasn't the catalyst. I believe ICT mentioned one of these, like this order block here, the final move down to my first target of the day, 400,550. I believe he mentioned that as being something that's very strong, because it's within also this order block here that we made a move on, right? And then another order block. So then we're just pinging off that. Still very hard for me to see this, you know, especially live. I'm seeing these raids down here, and the main thing I'm seeing is it going into the 15-minute gap and coming out. This order block, yeah, I mean, it makes sense in hindsight. Didn't really get it live, so could just be a thing where I need some more experience with it, right? But anyway, I made some bad trades in here, you know, thinking we were on our way to highs or whatever. One thing I think I need to really be aware of in days like this, where we're doing these big swings back and forth, is when we're in a move up like this and it creates a low and then it breaks through. I mean, obviously this should be, if I'm going for higher highs and this is broken, I should not be in the trade, right? Seems pretty obvious, but you know, things are a lot different live. That's for sure. That's all I want to say. All I'm gonna say. So that's the whole point of looking back through this chart, trying to figure out where I could have been better, right? This move here, when we made a good move up, now I think I took my targets off. I did have some targets laid out up, and it actually did grab some of those. I never was on the right side of the move today, until this afternoon. I made a couple of good trades, like one or two, to get something out of the day, so that was nice. But yeah, this move here, my best guess here is that this very aggressive push down back into the 15-minute, and then we break it. That's the order block. We come back and just ping it a bunch of times, right? Actually, it just pinged it twice, I guess, huh? Strange action. I just really hate days like this where there's no, you know, what I'm most comfortable with so far. You know, watched a lot of the videos, not everything, from ICT. I'm really locking into the concept of there's an AM move and there's a PM move, and in lunch we just sort of watch what it could potentially set up, maybe, but we're pretty much just sitting out. So when the AM move, you know, it actually is grabbing buy side and sell side all over the place, it really just throws me off. I'm generally laying out these targets before the market starts, and I'm thinking, okay, we hit one. All right, let's see. Okay, aggressive push back, up again. Let's go for the next. Right? And that just didn't happen today at all in the AM or PM session. We had pretty much more of the same once lunch was over. I do believe I got in on this one here, right? So if you see here, right at 1 o'clock, we had a rate of a high, swing high, come down, and this target I put on afterwards. I didn't know, it's not like it hit a target here. Come down, take some lows out, and then a pretty aggressive move up to take that new high out, right? Within that, we have a gap. So I took that gap. I'll just draw the gap out. I took that gap as an entry point for a move up to a target of 40.39.75. I believe I actually had the initial target to just come back to, this is daily open, but it's really midnight price. I believe I called out, you can go through my chat if you are part of our Discord. And you can see what I called out there, but I think it was either 40.37 or 40.39.75. Either way, I had both of those. It did tag that. I was seeing if it would push to 40.41.50, right? So this is another mistake I made. And this is another pattern that I saw today that I didn't do anything with. I just observed. And I think I want to go back through and observe more of these from choppy days, because it seems like something that would just always set back up once we hit a target, right? So we hit a good target here, and what did it do? It immediately came down, created a swing low, and broke it, right? Broke it. It didn't create, it did create a gap. Take that back. It did create a gap, right? It did not trade back into that gap. It just, I guess, went with the order block there. I mean, this is the order block, or that's the order block. It's another thing. Still trying to learn all of that. But we had an aggressive push down to take back those lows. I believe I might have taken a loss here somewhere too. Then we had this really choppy wave up, and some other people were playing SPX, and this was much more clear on SPX. But I sat there and watched, and I'm like, dude, there's no entry here, right? There's no way I could reasonably say, oh yeah, we're going back to 40.39.75. Nothing. There's nothing in that tells me that, right? We do eventually come back to that old target. We tag it again, and what does it do? Well, this move, this could be your indication that we're gonna tag that. Still a little too sloppy for me, but we did raid highs, lows, make a little run up to the target, but in getting to the target, we made a swing low and we broke it, right? So once again, another thing that I just want to remember, this swing low, and then this, I guess, order block here. You could also maybe say this one. It's another thing I noticed today, right? A lot of times when it would start a reversal, you'd have one of these weird candles that just shoot up, create just a wick, or mostly wick. And then continue to do some kind of sell-off or push-up or whatever, depending on which direction the move was going. We came back up into that candle, order block, I guess, yeah. Order block here, order block there. Help out if you know. And then we took some more sell-side targets, right? We took a sell-side target that was just formed down here that I had marked out. We took a sell-side target that was formed at our 1 o'clock move, and I was actually targeting the quote-unquote lunchtime lows, right? So the other day we had this sequence happen. I think it was yesterday actually. We had the sequence happen where starting out in the afternoon, we had an aggressive raid on lunchtime lows, and ICT mentioned it. So my thought was, oh, it's going to do that again. It ended up just coming short, like very close. So that was surprising too. Days like today, I think I just have to trust one target and done, and then I watch, right? Even on a good setup, like I think this was fairly decent setup. It's sloppy, but you can see it, right? Like it's not that hard to see. Raid to take that low and be done, right? That's a good, yeah, I mean, that's a good 8 handles, right? So that's nice. This is getting greedy, right? On days like today, but it did go down and take it. Yeah, so this move here is after this is earnings, so I'm not even going to worry about anything that happened after that, but you will notice one more thing. What did it do once it came down and took an old low? And created a swing high, broke the swing high, right? So choppy days like today, I'm going to take that, creating a swing high, breaking that, or swing low in the case of moves like this. We see the same thing right here. I'm going to take that as we're not going any lower or higher. And maybe look for potential trades to take just one more target, maybe this swing high here at 1536. So yeah, more experience with chop days. Can't say it was fun, but hopefully it will pay off in the long run. The more I see of this, the more I learn how to either avoid it altogether or get a couple scalps in here and there. But interesting day. Please comment if you have any insight. I would love to hear from people that have been studying ICT for longer than me. And if you're in the Discord that we're in, I'll put a link to Jack Stock's YouTube channel. He posts a Discord link. I got to figure out how to post third-party links on YouTube. There's some verification process. Still pretty new to this, but working on it, trying to build this into my process. Yeah, let me know what you think, and talk to you later. Bye.